it's a book clique. So I'm gonna start this video off with a pickup line that's so good, that's so stupid it's funny. Okay. Hey, you wanna know how much a polar bear weighs? Enough to break the ice. Hey, my name's Allie. I don't know. What? So today I'll be doing my top 5 favorite books of all time. And if you don't like books, and if you're not subscribed, then those are really weird faces. Anyway, so I'll be doing a countdown. So 5, 2, 1. Okay. Yeah? Okay. So number 5. Lady Midnight by Cassandra Clare. So if you read the Mortal Instruments, this is basically set right after that. And it's about a shadow hunter named Emma Carstairs that wants to get revenge for what happened during the Mortal War, Dark War, one of those. What happened to her parents. And then she's trying to figure out all these murders and all that's been happening in Los Angeles lately. And then she has a peripatie, which is basically what a peripatie means is that you're bounded by oath to be lifelong partners in battle and all that. You guys can be best friends, you guys can be whatever, but you cannot fall in love. It's forbidden by the law. The law is hard, but it is the law. Sorry. But along the way, she starts falling in love with her peripatie, and it turns out he loves her too. But it's forbidden, and they will literally get their marks, their marks. If you don't know what a shadow hunter is, it's basically a mix between a human but an angel. I guess it's basically a human with angel blood, basically. And they kill demons. And then they have all these marks on them, and if you get stripped of your marks, they hurt. Okay, not getting a tattoo or whatever, or getting a tattoo removed. They hurt so much you could die. But so that's and then and if you do survive, then you have to live the rest of your days as a mundane, which means you're a human, and you cannot talk about the shadow hunter world at all. But it's a really good book. But it's Lady Midnight by Cassandra Clare. It's the first book in the Dark Artifices. She hasn't really written the second book, but this book is so good. Highly recommend it. And if you get this book, at the end, called A Long Conversation, especially of those that read and love the Mortal Instruments, there is a bonus chapter between Clary and Jace that will make you cry. Okay. Number 4. Since I'm Cassandra Clare trash, I had to add another book. So this is the Infernal Devices. The first book is Clockwork Angel, and it's basically about this 18. I think she's 18. No, she's 17. She's 17. It's about the 17-year-old girl named Tessa Gray. This is set in 1864, by the way. But it's about a girl named Tessa Gray that's 17 that lives in New York. But her older brother Nate, moved to London, and he told her to move there to live with him. She was like, okay, not like that. And then she gets kidnapped, and by the Dark Sisters, and the Dark Sisters are torturing her and making her do all these things that she didn't know she could do before. She has powers that she never knew she had. And then she gets rescued by a shadow hunter, and she gets thrown into the shadow hunter life, and she's trying, because the Dark Sisters were trying to prepare her to marry the Magister. No one knows who the Magister is until book 3, I think. I don't know. I read the whole series though, but I don't remember. To marry him, and then he's trying, but the Magister is basically trying to wipe off all the shadow hunters from the face of the earth. And they kill demons. So if there's no shadow hunters, then the mundane world would literally not survive. And then it's a 3-book series, Clockwork Angel, Clockwork Prince, and Clockwork Princess. And Tessa, there's also romance in here, and Tessa is torn between Willow Herondale and Jem Carstairs. Let me just break it down for you. First book, you're gonna be Will Herondale, yes, Will Herondale. Second book, Jem Carstairs. Why? Yes, like they need to be together. They're my ship. Jessa. And then third book, you're just gonna destroy the lanes. Like, oh, you gave us lanes, we shall destroy them. But yeah, basically. Welcome to the fandom. Book number 3. This isn't really as popular, but I really enjoyed this. It's called Cleopatra's Moon by Vicky Alvier Schechter. It's really good. 10 out of 10 recommend it. It's one of those like history fiction, like it has like historical fiction where it's like one of those that like has like some history facts in there, but it's also like fiction, so like there's some things that didn't happen in there. But in the book, it's basically about Cleopatra, not the Queen Cleopatra, but the daughter of Queen Cleopatra, Cleopatra Selene, of like Egypt and all that. It's basically like tells her life as a princess and all that, and how her and her brothers became a prisoner of Rome. I said what? I meant Rome. No, what? I'm confusing myself. Okay. Rome, a prisoner of Rome, and then they're trying throughout the whole book, they're trying to get back home and all that, and it's just really good. Like, if you don't read any of these books I like show you and all that, read this one. I highly, highly, highly recommend this one. Okay. Okay. Number 2, Cinder by Marissa Meyer. I know who it's by. Why did I have to? Okay. So it's the first book in the Lunar Chronicles. If you like fantasies, then you're gonna like fairy tales and all that. Then you're gonna love this, cause Cinder is basically a spin-off of Cinderella, I guess you can say. It's about this 16-year-old cyborg named Cinder, who's a gifted mechanic that lives in New Beijing, modern day China. But this is set like thousands of years in the future. There's like lunars, like people that live on moon called Luna and all that, like they like people living on the moon. So you can pretty tell it's like so far in the future. And it's basically like her life becomes intertwined with the handsome Prince Kai's that everyone wants to. All the girls are in love with, like literally in love. And it's basically like the whole series is basically about the Queen Lavana of Luna trying to take over the Earth, and then Cinder and her friends are the only ones that can stop her, I guess you can say. I know I'm not really good at like saying what books are about. I make them seem like boring and all that, but I kid you not, this is such a good series. Highly recommend it. Oh, and I ordered the Chinese version of this book, meaning it's going to be in Mandarin, because I've been teaching myself Mandarin, and I'm not going to be able to read it, because I'm still teaching myself, but hey, gotta start somewhere. And then the last book, I'm Sarah J. Maas trash. What? If you read or even heard of Throne of Glass, then you probably should. This is the author. But she wrote this book called A Court of Thorns and Roses. This is kind of like a spin-off of Beauty and the Beast, give or take. But it's like really good. It's about like a 19-year-old huntress named Farah that kills a wolf, but turns out it's actually not a wolf and it's a shapeshifter. Fairy? They're the same thing, I think. Right? I don't know. And so, like, in Pyrithian, I think that's the land, because like she's immortal, and there's like mortal lands, and then there's like there's a great wall separating the mortal land from Pyrithian, which is the Fae and fairies and all that. And then there's like 7 courts. Like there's the night court, the dawn court, the spring court, like the summer court, like courts. And there's a High Lord for each court, and then the High Lord of the Spring Court named Tamlin comes and takes her back to his land for killing his friend. And he said like he's here to claim her life since he claimed his friend's, but he's not going to kill her. He's just going to take her back to his land. And then Like, at first she hates him, like she cannot stand him, and then she starts to fall in love with him, and then right away, and like that's short-lived though, because he tells her go home, you know. She, of course she doesn't want to go home, like because like the reason he ordered her home is because there's this ancient and cunning fae from a different kingdom named Amarantha that basically set a curse on the spring court for like 40 or 50 years and all that. And it's a really good book. Highly recommend it. And that's my top 5. So I'm probably not gonna be able to like post YouTube videos as much, but I also have my own website where like I just write book reviews. It's not just book reviews, it's like top books and all that. So if you don't want to watch like 20 minutes of me telling you my favorite book, then you can just read like 1 or 2 paragraphs or whatever about it on my website. So I'll link my website down in the description box below. Make sure to like this video and subscribe, because I try to make videos every week, at least once every week. But if not, then just check my website. Make sure to follow me on Instagram. I sort of use Twitter, but I mostly use Instagram. So yeah, and peace.